Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about parallel lines cut by transversals. So two lines that never intersect are called parallel lines. Arrows on the lines indicate that they're parallel. So if you see these little triangles right here, those are letting you know that L and M are parallel. The symbol that we use for parallel when we're writing is two lines that look parallel. So a line that intersects two or more lines is called a transversal. In the diagram on the left, L is parallel to M, and the transversal that goes through the two lines is T. All right, so now we're going to do a few definitions for our lines. So it says corresponding angles are in the same position on parallel lines in relation to the transversal. These angles are always congruent. Okay, remember congruent means the same. So for us, like 1 and 5 are in the same spot. 2 and 6 are in the same spot. 4 and 8 are in the same spot. And then 3 and 7 are in the same spot. So the way that you would write that out is you could say angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. And then angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. I'm out of space over there. Okay, but I've marked them in color so that you can kind of see which ones go together. Alright, so the next one we have is what's called alternate interior angles. These are on the inside of the parallel lines, so that means they're between the parallel lines, and they're on opposite sides of the transversals. These angles are always congruent. Okay, so this would be like angle 4 with angle 6. So they're kind of like crisscross from each other. And then angle 3 with angle 5. Okay. But notice they are between the parallel lines would be inside. So if you're looking between the lines, the parallel lines, this is the inside or the interior. That says interior. Okay, it has to be between the parallel lines. Okay, then we have alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are on the outside of the parallel lines, so we don't want to look between them. And they're on opposite sides of the transversal still. So if I'm doing, these are also congruent. Okay, so this would be like 1 and 7. And then angle 2 and 8. Okay, but they're on the outside of the parallel lines. And then lastly, we have what's called consecutive interior angles. These are on the same side of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. These are always supplementary. Okay, so again, they're on the inside, so this would be like 4 and 5. And I'm going to write as angle 4 plus angle 5 is equal to 180. And then angle 3 plus angle 6 is also equal to 180. Those are my consecutive interior. All right, so using the diagram to the left, classify each angle pair and indicate whether they are congruent or supplementary. So again, here is my set of parallel lines. So this is the interior. This would be between them. So take a minute, see if you and your group can name those, and then come back and check to see if you got them correct. Okay, so angle 1 and 5 are alternate exterior angles, and that makes them congruent. And I'm abbreviating on these. You're more than welcome to as well. Okay, angle 6 and angle 8 are corresponding angles, which makes them congruent. So you should have two names on here. You should have the name and then whether it's congruent or supplementary. Angle 2 and angle 3 are consecutive interior angles, and that makes them supplementary. Angle 3 and angle 7 are alternate interior angles, which makes them congruent. 2 and 4 are corresponding, which makes them congruent. 6 and 7 are consecutive interior angles, which makes them supplementary. 2 and 6 are alternate interior, which makes them congruent. And then 4 and 8 are alternate exterior, which makes them congruent. All right, so now it says given that lines P and Q are parallel, angle 1 is 68 degrees. So it says angle 1 is 68 degrees. Find each angle measure. Okay, angle 1 is vertical to angle 4, so that means it's 68. It's corresponding to angle 5, so that's 68. And then 5 and 8 are vertical, so that one's also 68. Okay, it's supplementary to the ones next to it, so we're going to do 180 minus 68, which is 112. So that means angle 2 is 112. But 3 is vertical, so it's 112. 6 is corresponding, so it's 112. And 7 is equal to 6, so it's 112. Okay, so on parallel lines, if you have one angle, you can find all the other angles when it's two parallels cut by a transversal. Okay, so let's try this one. It says angle 7 is 134. You try it and then come back and check your answers. Okay, angle 1 is vertical, so it's 134. Angle 5 is corresponding, so it's 134. Angle 3 is also 134. Then I'm going to do 180 minus 134, which is 46. And in this case, angle 8 is 46, angle 2 is 46 because it's vertical to 8, 6 is 46 because it's corresponding to 8, and 4 is 46 because it's vertical to 6. Again, you can try it, see if you're getting the same answers. Angle 8 is 97. So 2 is vertical, so it's 97. 6 is corresponding to that, so it's 97. 104 is vertical to that, so it's 97. I'm going to do 180 minus 97, which would be 83. So angle 1 is 83. Vertical to that, angle 3 is 83. Corresponding to angle 1, angle 7 is 83. And then vertical to that, angle 5 is 83. Okay, now we have a little bit more going on here. Instead of just one transversal, we have two. So what I like to do is I like to cover up. Don't do this on yours, but I'm going to ignore this whole line for a second and just pretend like that other problem is what I have going on. So I have this angle right here that's 59. So angle 6 is 59. Angle 3 is 59 because it's corresponding to 6. And then angle 2 is 59. Okay, so then I'm going to do 180 minus 59, which is 121. So that means angle 7 is 121. Angle 5 is 121. Angle 1 is 121. And then angle 4 is 121. And once I've dealt with that whole transversal, then I'm going to look at the other one and ignore the previous one. So I'm going to switch colors here. Okay, so now I'm going to pretend like this one doesn't exist. And I'm only going to look at this one, and it kind of helps me not get the angles confused. So angle 9 is vertical to that 104. And then 13 is corresponding to 9, so it's also 104. And then 12 is also 104. I'm going to do 180 minus 104, which is 76. So angle 8 is 76. Directly across from that is 10, so it's 76. Corresponding to that is 14, so it's 76. And then vertical is angle 11, so it's 76. And I'm just pairing them up as I go. Alright, last one, it's got a little bit more going on here, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to start with this 38 that I have here. Vertical to that is this angle 8 right here, so that's going to be 38 also. And then I'm doing my best to ignore. It looks like angle 1 is in the same spot as angle 8, so that's going to be 38. And then angle 4 is also 38. Okay, then I'm going to do 180 minus 38, which is 142. So that's going to be angle 9 right here. Directly across from that is 7. Okay, and then I have to be careful. We're going to want to say 6 is, but 6 isn't because it would be this entire angle, not just 6. And the same thing with 2 and 3. Okay, so then I have to use some other information that's on this picture. So on this picture, I'm also given this little box that's right here. Remember, this little box means that this is 90. Okay, well, angle 3 and this have to add up 180, so that means that this one is also 90. And that means angle 6 is also 90. Okay, and then I'm going to say 142 minus 90. Okay, So 142 minus 90 is 52. So angle 2 is 52, and angle 5 is 52. Another way you could have found that 52 is you could have said 90 minus 38. Either way. Alright, but that's it for parallel lines cut by a transversal. And you don't have an assignment that goes with this one, I believe. You might. I don't know. But we are going to do kind of a little project on it next week. It's not too bad. But I look forward to seeing y'all next week, and I hope you have a good rest of your week.